Can you hear me? I can't hear anything. Okay, I think you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Hi, David. I can't hear anything.
Okay, so I think you guys can hear me now.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. I think I didn't plug the mic. This mic I didn't plug it, and I think somehow it was using another inexistent microphone. Yes. So Uchechi, welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, and also welcome to everyone. All right, so I think I did say some greetings, but I think my mic wasn't working then, so I'll just start all over again, just like our practice. So Bolas, welcome. Joy, welcome. Bethan, welcome. Kofi, welcome. Peter, welcome. Excel, welcome. Okay, Bethan, welcome. Uh, okay, so I think those are the few people. Okay, Bami, yeah, those are the few people we have in the meeting right now, and I think the rest will join. I haven't dropped that we have started, which is like what I always do. Let me just drop it right now. We are live. Join us. Let's talk. Okay, so I have posted it out there on the communities on WhatsApp. So I think we should have a good number of people joining the session now. Okay, so this is basically a town hall meeting. Okay, so when I said town hall, most of us here who are Nigerians would actually complete it. Yeah, but I'm not going to do that here. It's very sensitive. All right, so it's really good to have you guys here, and it's quite exciting for me. And like, I'm always super excited to be here. Really, I love to talk, I love to teach, and I love to see everyone here. For today's meeting, we just want to talk about your projects. We want to just know how it's going with you, the questions that you have, where we can help. This is like a huge project that you're working on, like super huge. If you ask me, like it's super huge. So we will be having these town hall meetings, like a little bit regular. It's not a stand up because stand up would be really short. This one might be a little bit longer, not so long, but I think it's going to be above 30, 45 minutes, around that range. Okay, so because first of all, we're going to have the product manager Uchechi. She will run us through some brief presentation, which might span around 30 minutes, and she will talk about the best practices for product development, right? Because I we have been learning how to build mobile and web applications without writing codes, and uh, we have not been following certain practices like agile product management scenario. So but I believe that these are things that you should just have an idea about. Some of you do, because I have been seeing the works that you guys do, like it's amazing. So I just wanted her to talk about the best practices for product development, the different things that you're supposed to like put in check that will allow your your product to eventually come out well. We have like 2 weeks, and it's already started since Monday, and today is like three days out, right? So 2 weeks is 14 days, so that's like leaving you with 11 days. And the thing is, there will be no extra space for it. You will have to demo your project the way it is, but we believe that you can do this. The idea about building no code is so that you can build things faster and deploy your product like really fast, right? Yeah. So without saying too much, I would like to invite Uchechi. Uchechi, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you have a slide you would like to present?
Yeah, I have a slide.
Oh, great. So there's a button here that says present on this StreamYard. So when it's time, you will just have to click on it. Do you know how to use StreamYard?
I think it should be pretty explanatory.
Yes, just click on the. I think you can just go ahead and do that now. Maybe you could click
Okay.
on the present button, and then you will see share screen. You click on it, and then go ahead and share the screen you want us to see. And then
Okay.
after that, yeah, and then after that, I will add you to the stream, and the class is yours. So so guys, she's going to take you through the best practices for product development, and you will just have some idea about what you should do, how you should work with your team members. And at towards the end of the whole meeting, right, we will address some questions, some problems that you might have. Maybe your team member is already giving you a headache up front, so, or maybe there's another issue entirely. So we will just talk about the whole thing. All right. So over to you, Uchechi. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, yes, please go ahead. The floor is
All right.
yours.
All right. Good day, everyone. So I will just give a short, should I call it lecture on best practices for product development or management. It's the same thing. And the major thing is while you're building a product, you should be building a product that people will love and people will love to use. So, firstly, a brief introduction. What's a product? In marketing, a product is an object or system or service made available for consumer use due to consumer demand. It is anything that can be offered to a market to satisfy the desire or need of a customer. But in product management, we define it quite differently. So we define a product as a solution to a problem, a challenge, or a need. And the whole purpose of you building your product is to please your customers. So if your product is not solving a problem, you are not sure if that product will even be used at all. That product is already heading down the road to failure. So quickly, let's go over to the best practices. So I created a little table or a little diagram here, and I'm going to explain everything little by little. I'll break it down. So there are majorly 5 stages in product development: the ideation stage, the research stage, development stage, the launch, and then the post-launch. So let me break it down one by one. In the ideation stage, this involves coming up with your product idea. That's also known as product discovery. So there is a need in the market. So coming up with your product idea is more like brainstorming on, okay, what can we do to solve this problem? And already in your own case, you already have a particular product that you're working on. So I don't think you have to do this. But then normally you come up with a product to solve a problem in the market. Then so you already have your product idea. The next thing you need to do is to know your target audience. So this product that we've come up with, who are the people that are going to use this product? The people in the market that are going to buy our product or subscribe to this product. That's the next thing you need to know. You probably do some research work to know that. Then you validate your assumptions by conducting interviews and surveys. I think I mentioned that to some people yesterday. So you can't really know. You knowing your target audience is just it's an assumption. And you can't build a product based on an assumption. You have to be sure that wasting resources, or let me not say wasting, but investing your resources, your time into a product that will not, at the end of the day, give you some cool cash is a waste of time. So you have to validate those assumptions on your target audience. How do you do that? Conducting interviews and surveys and asking people important questions about your products to know their pain points. That's another reason for conducting interviews, to know their pain points. And that's the next point here, knowing your user pain points, because this will help you to come up with user stories, which will in turn help with brainstorming on features. So you don't just come up with your product and then the next thing you do is come up with features. Yes, you're a potential user of the product, but since you're not building it for yourself, you're building it for users out there. You need to know what are their pain points, and if your product is not going to solve um, their problems, if your product is not going to help with these pain points, then the product is heading towards failure. So when you actually know their pain points, you can know the features to impute in your product. Then we move over to the next stage, research. I know some people mentioned yesterday that they don't need to do research work. Yes, that's the work of the product manager, but everybody, one way or the other, will have to carry out some little research. And this involves a lot of things. Firstly, you have to do some research work on the products that you've come up with. So the fact that you've already come up with an idea doesn't mean that, okay, it stands. Because you can come up with an idea to solve a problem. At the end of the day, you see that that idea is not so feasible and it can't really work. And this can be determined by a lot of factors. It can be based on your environment, based on the people that, okay, finally you've already validated your assumptions on your target audience. You might see that, okay, this idea you have, this is not the audience that needs this idea. So what do? You do some research work to be sure that, okay, let's come up with another idea. So during this product research, a lot of things can change. You can have an initial plan and then it changes along the way, but you should be open-minded, because the most important thing is your customers. The next step is knowing your competitors and analyzing their products. So on this product idea you've come up with, you might not be okay. If you're the first person to come up with this idea, that's amazing. You don't really have a lot of work to do. But then we have a lot of people in this world, and then lots of ideas that the idea you already have. It's very, very possible that there are many products out there that are doing the same thing or solving the same problem. So what do? You need to find out who are these people that are doing these things, analyze their product, analyze their steps. How are they making money? How are they doing these things that they are doing? Since you two you want to do the same thing, you have to make sure that you know about the industry very well. You don't just go into an industry you're not sure of what is going on there. After you do a lot of research on your competitors, then you come up with product modes. So your product modes are things that will make your product unique. You can't come up with a product and then it's exactly the same thing as what is already in the market. So it's just going to be another product in the market, and people will be like, why should I use your product when there's another product I'm using that is doing the same thing that you're doing? So coming up with product modes can be a bit hard, but if you can brainstorm and probably make use of your customer interviews and the surveys you did, you will find some unique things that most of these competitors outside might not have implemented. So you might be the first person to jump on it. Over time, they might implement it too, but you will be the first person, and that counts for something. Okay. So then the next thing is you research on the market growth of the industry that your product falls under, whether it's fintech or e-commerce, and then you know their growth prospects. So this one's another thing. So in a team, there are so many people in a team. So this might not be your own work. You might have a data analyst, you might have a researcher in your group. That's the work of the data analyst and the researcher, to know what exactly is the market growth prospect of this industry that we're going into. It is an industry that is already dead, that all the products that are listed under that industry is already dead. It's not doing well. Maybe they're in their decline stage in the product life cycle. Is this an industry that we should consider going into? At this point, there's still room for iteration. This means that you might get to this point, and based on the results of your research, you might decide to go on with the product idea or kill it or come up with a new idea. So that's why research work is very important. Then lastly, you research on the market trends and current happenings so as to keep you updated and well informed. So now in every industry, there are trends. Things are changing over time. So you don't want to be stuck in the past. You don't want to be misinformed. You want to know that, okay, this is what is going on. This is an idea that was implemented in the past, because your idea might be outdated. It might be a cake. So this is an idea I have, but people have already moved on from it. It's just like right now you're coming up with CD players, or you're coming up with CD players when people have moved on to online streaming services. So yeah, you might have few people, like few millennials, that will actually buy your product, but the market's capacity is just too little, and you should not limit your product to just a particular amount of people. So you need to do a lot of research on trends, what's happening in this industry, and how can we jump on it. So if you're even lucky and then you find out a trend that is still in the introduction stage, you can just jump on it and implement it in your product, and your product will be the first or one of the first few products to implement particular trends in the market. So that's what research involves. Then we move over to development. This is the most important stage of the product or development life cycle. So here it involves coming up with a structure for your product, how it's going to work and function. I asked some people yesterday, you've come up with a product, what's your structure? How is it going to work? So coming up with your structure just means, okay, these are the things we want it to do, and this is the market we are targeting. These are the people we want to face. So the structure just it talks about the whole stand of the product. What exactly is your product going to do? It needs to be well defined. You can't say, okay, the product will do five things at the same time. One product doing five things at the same time. It means that you're confused. Now, it doesn't mean that your products are not served for many functions, but since you are still in the ideation stage, you have not launched yet, this is still your first stage, you have to solve a particular problem and focus on that. So building your structure, you have to focus on one thing. You can't do too many things at once, at least at the beginning stage. Then you come up with your product goals, your vision, the strategy, the roadmap, success metrics, and OKRs. So this is the work of the product manager though in the product team. But then knowing your product goals are quite important. It's not just about building a product. What do we aim to achieve with this product? What do we aim to achieve? And what you should have a strategy. Okay, this thing we want to achieve. How should we achieve it? How are we going to go about it? And then in your strategy, there you have your success metrics. That's the things you use to measure if the product is actually doing well, like you listed in your product goals. One of your goals can be to reach out to 5,000 people in the next 3 quarters, or to have like 20,000 signups and subscribers in like the first year of launch. Whatever your product goal is, you have to clearly define it. You should know so that you can know if your product is going well, if the product is actually growing or not. And you should have a roadmap for that. There are OKRs. So those things are very important for you to list out too. When you know that, then you can now move on to your user stories. Like I previously mentioned, since you already know your pain point, user pain points, you can use that to draft your user stories. And why do you need user stories? So that you can brainstorm on features and prioritize features to implement. Okay, you need to prioritize features to implement based on effort, value, and customer needs. So now that you've already brainstormed on features using your user stories, you can't include all the features at once. So you have to prioritize, because when you use the user stories, you will find out that you have a lot of features, a lot of them, because you're trying to solve a lot of problems. So you have a lot of features to actually focus on. But for the first version of your app, you can't, of your product rather, you can't include every single feature. That's too much. So you have to prioritize, okay, based on effort, based on value, based on customer needs. What are the things that our product stands for right now? And what are the things that are very important that should be included in the product? That without these things, the product will not have some essence, will not have some value. Those are the things that you include in the first version of your product. So you have to brainstorm on that. Then the next thing, you move over to designing your MVP or your prototype and build. So this is a very crucial stage of the development cycle, because if you miss anything here, you've already started moving towards failure. So you have to carefully come up with these goals, your strategy, and then carefully come up with your features. And then remember that your product is solving a need. So it's not just all about what you feel. It's all about the customer at this point. So even while you're prioritizing, you should think of what the customer will use your product for. And that should be the most important thing. Then we move over to the next stage. That's the launch. This is also an important phase. And this involves testing your product. So there are different ways to test your product. You can use the Q&A testing, A/B testing. This is also something that the product manager will assist with. But either way, you should test your product. You can't just build a product and release it immediately. What if there are glitches? So you have to test the product, then you move over to your launch plan. This is also the work of the product manager, but it's also important that you have a launch plan. So the launch plan just simply involves everything that has to do with the launch. What are the things we are launching? What are the features that are in the app or in the product? Even if it's a web-based product, if it's a service, what are the things that are involved in this product? And then come up with the PRD. The PRD is the product requirement document. So depending on the product you're building, you might not be building it alone. You might have people you are working under. This is for people that are already working. So you might have people you're working under already, and there are people called stakeholders, or you might have people at the top, people you report to. So you build a PRD, or you write a PRD rather, to explain everything about the product, because these stakeholders and people that you report to, they might not be with you from the beginning to the end of your building phase. All they really need to know is, what is this product about, and should we actually launch it? So what shows them what the product is about is the PRD. So you write out your idea down to the development stage, down to the research that you did. Everything is included in the PRD, even the design of your products. That's after designing. Even when you build it, everything should be included in the PRD for them to go through and see if this is actually something they want to do. Then after you've crossed that stage and you move over to the release. Okay, I noted that you should remember that you can't include all the features at once. there's always room for updates, and you really shouldn't give off all your ideas at once. Yes, I mentioned that. So you should prioritize and let your customers anticipate something. Let them look forward to your updates. So if you give off all your secrets at once, everything is out. It will be very hard for you. Okay, even when you're updating, you will just be updating based on what the customers note or based on their feedback. There won't be anything new to spice up your product. And then with time, you move towards a decline because other products will rise up that will not be in competition with your own because they have fresher ideas. So when you are coming up with a product idea, there are a lot of ideas that you come up with, but you shouldn't launch everything in the first phase. You should keep a lot of them. We call them product secrets. These are things that you just release one by one so that your customers can anticipate something. Then to the last stage is the post launch, and this is after you've launched your product already. So if you've not launched your product, you can't actually move on to this stage. And this involves tracking your product growth using KPIs and success metrics. So you've already released your product. So how do we know how the product is faring? How do we know how the market is receiving this product? How can we track that people are actually using this product and it's actually going to meet up to our product goals? That's why having a product goal is very, very important, because if you don't have goals for your product, you cannot know if the product is growing. Like, it's as simple as that. So you track your product goals using KPIs and success metrics. Like I mentioned before, a goal can be to have 5,000 subscribers by Q3. That's the third quarter of the year. So a success metric could be, okay, since we want to have 5,000 subscribers by Q3, a success metric could be tracking the number of people that subscribe into your platform per month or per week, to know, because if you don't track it per week, you can't just wait till the Q3 and then see, okay, let's see if by then some magic is going to happen and then to be 5,000. No, you have to track it per week. So if per week you're seeing that the number of people signing up are just 10 or 5, or let's say 50, 100, you know that by Q3 you might not have that 5,000 that you need. So from that per week that you actually track your metrics, it helps you to improve the product, to do some customer research, do more research, try to find out ways to improve the product, even while you are waiting for that Q3. Okay, so when you do that, then there's a very huge possibility that you might actually meet up with your product goals. The next thing is updating your products per time based on customer feedback and market analysis. So yeah, like I mentioned, you already have a lot of ideas. So little by little, you incorporate those ideas into features and then add them to your products. So you don't only update your app based on your own features alone. That's why customer feedback is very important. I mean, if you check Apple Store, if you check Google Play, even for all the apps you're downloading, there's a place where you can actually drop your reviews. And those reviews, they are very important because the products, the developers, the designers, the product manager can easily log on there and see what people are complaining about, see what people are doing right. So when you ask your customers, you should always ask them per time, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What can we do to serve you better? Since it's about the customers, it's not about you, because the product is for the customers. And whatever they complain about, it doesn't mean that every single thing that is complaining about you should implement it immediately. It then means that your customers are now your stakeholders and they're the ones telling you what to do in your products. So as much as the customers are important, you should also know how to prioritize these features that they're complaining about. Okay, let's do this right now. Then maybe later, the next update will incorporate this one, since we already have our own features to incorporate. So that for every update, you will not have so many things that you're releasing. So it's like for every update, you are letting go of all the features that already exist and you're coming up with more features. There's no consistency. So imagine I have a feature that I like now, but because many other people already complained about a particular feature, you now wipe off that one that I like and then put new ones. It can also it can make you to lose a lot of customers too. So there should be some consistency in your features. There's some things that you know that we're not going to let go of this ones. Even if we update the app and add some other features, these are some key things that should be there too. Then we move over to the next step. That's you resolve your customer complaints periodically and gather feedback from your users. I just explained that right now. So resolve their complaints. You have to find the best means of resolving their complaints. You know, you will have your mail. They will mail whatever complaints they have to you. But one thing that actually kills products is you not getting back to your customers on time. And I think that's what's killing so many products right now. So your product out there, you are sure that this product is good. This product is the best out there. We have a lot of users. You then begin to forget that because you have a lot of users out there doesn't mean that you can't lose them. So customer complaints should be given high priority. When they complain to you about something, try to find a way, even if it's not about incorporating features to solve those problems. Try to find a way. So there are some customers you have to actually tell, please, can you manage this thing? Since is there a way we can go around it? Every customer, or rather, every solution should not be a feature. Some of them you just have to explain some things to them and find better ways. Some of them you have to impress them. Some of them you have to what's the word? You have to make sure that they are using the app, and you have to make sure that you can find a way to actually.
Hello,
Okay,
Uchechi. Can
yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I thought I'm back now.
okay, all
Okay,
right.
so as I was saying, you have to find a way to like appease them, to impress them, because they've already complained about a particular thing. So whether it's going to be 20% off their next sign off, or whether it's going to be giving them some gifts, some our products will actually send customers some merch, to just make them happy. Some products will actually give you discounts. Some will tell you, okay, when you refer someone to use this app, we'll give you some particular amount of money or reward or whatever thing. You just have to brainstorm and find a way to just resolve the complaint. But everything should not be about features. And then continually gather feedback from your users. Then lastly, finding your market fit and upscale. So this is also very, very important. This is the aim of every product. Like this should be the aim or the end goal of every product. Finding their market fit. The market is very wide, and there are so many products out there like your own. Though yours is unique, yes, but then there are other products too. And there are some people that are very they will tell you, okay, because I like this product, I'm going to stick with it. I don't care what your product is going to do for me, even if it might be better, because I'm already used to this one. Some people they can't just afford to be stressed. So you have to find a way to blend your own product into the market, in the sense that you have customers that are that will focus on only your own products. And how do you do that? It's very hard, but you have to find a way around it. Do a lot of research work, and then customer feedback and insights too, to know how exactly you can keep them glued to your products, so that even when a competition comes out, it will be very hard. It's not that most customers will not finally leave your product and move on to the next one, but you will make it at least a bit hard for them to move on to the next product. So they won't just keep jumping from one product to the other to solve a problem, because either ways the problem needs to be solved. So you have to do some research or can find a fit in the market for your product and stay there. Then another thing is to upscale. In business, upscaling means to increase the size of the market, increase in the size of the market. So when you find your market fit, you can actually upscale from there and move from the introduction stage in the development life cycle to the growth stage. In the growth stage, you have more users, you are more known. Like there are a lot of benefits of being in the growth stage. It takes a lot of time, because you can't just launch a product today and then tomorrow you're in the growth stage. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of feedback, a lot of sacrifice, because you have to make sure that these customers are really there. While I'm searching for more customers, I have to make sure that these ones are already happy. They're using the product, and the ones that are already coming in, I have to make sure too that they're happy, and then you have to retain them. Then search for new customers. The cycle goes on and on. You can never really be satisfied with the number of customers that you have. The aim should be to upscale at every point. So what do you need to upscale? It's already mentioned here. Track your product success metrics. Know what you can do to make your product better, and just do it. And let your product be a best version of itself in the market. And you will see people using your products. One thing that makes product to grow is word of mouth. Because when a customer likes a product, they will refer it to their friends and family. I mean, even we that are building products, we too, we have products that we like that we're referring to our friends and our family members. So if you can make your product to at least serve some particular number of people, they will surely refer it to their friends and family. Lastly, these are some extras. So while doing all this, you'll be working with cross-functional teams, and then good communication skills are required. Yes, during product development, the product team develops the products, and the product team is made up of the product manager or project manager, the developers, the design team, the engineers. So these are people that all perform different functions. So you have to learn to communicate well. You have to learn to do things together. Togetherness is very important. You can't do things on your own, because you have the idea. That means you'll be the one to implement it. That means you'll be the one to do everything from the ideation stage. Since there are 5 stages there, it's shared across everybody in the product team. No one is exempted. So you might be the one in charge of the coming up with the strategy. Another person will be in charge of the research. Another person will be in charge of design. So because you can do everything, one person can do everything. It doesn't mean you should actually do it. So some people will tell you stick to your job function, but even while doing that, if you have an idea on some other things, you can always advise, you can always communicate to your group members or your team members. Okay, this is a better way to do something, but you don't have to just do it on your own, because you can do it by yourself. Then also you need to be a good team player, because you attend or organize scrum meetings frequently to talk about everything that is listed here. A good team player doesn't carry out functions by himself, he consults others. And then there's something called Scrum meetings. I'm sure a lot of us are already having Scrum meetings. I joined some yesterday. So you have to you organize or you attend the meetings. A lot of things will be deliberated on. Everything that I have mentioned here will be deliberated on what features to use, prioritizing the features, prioritizing based on the customers. So because one person is good at it and the others are not, doesn't mean your own opinion has to stand. It's a vote, it's an equal vote among everybody in the product team to make sure that the product out there, you guys, when you build it, everybody is happy, because you can't build a product based on your own perception. Then that means you don't need a product team. It's like saying that the product team is useless to you. You are the product team on your own. So everybody has to function together. If anybody is lagging behind on their own work, you should find out why. Everybody should look out for each other in the product team. There shouldn't be disagreements and all. And you're doing this for the sake of the product, even if you don't like yourselves, though you should, but you're doing it for the sake of the product. Then lastly, always use the agile development methodology to ensure that the product is continuously improved based on user feedback. Yes, don't use the waterfall methodology, please. That's very straightforward and it doesn't change. It's very static. Because we have been doing like this since last year, that means we'll continue to do it till next year and forever. That's not a good mindset. Well, it can work for some products, but it shouldn't always be employed. The agile development methodology gives room for open-mindedness, gives room for improvements, which I already explained before. So you get some insight on your user feedback, you get some insight from your users, then you use those insights to make your products better. The aim is to continuously improve your products. There should be room for continuous improvement. You don't just stick to one thing because this is what we've been doing since, or this is how we've been doing it. So let's say that you actually launched an update this particular way. It doesn't mean you should continue launching that update that way. If there are new things in the market, now you jump on trends. This is the way this company launched their own. This is the way this company launched theirs. It doesn't mean you have to copy them. But sometimes in product, they're your competitors, right? So it's a competition, but it's a healthy one, a healthy competition. So you integrate, okay, this is how this company release their product. How do we release ours? How do we make ours better? So you don't just use the waterfall methodology that is just straightforward, because you've written all these things out. This is exactly how it is going to work. So you should also remember at the back, put at the back of your mind that all these things is to make the product better. And if you implement everything here and you release the product, you will build products that people will love to use. People will tell everybody about them, around them, about your product. And they will get, in fact, they will do the work for you. They will get more users for you, just so that your users are increasing. And you might not even be doing so much work because the product is too good to be true. A lot of people will recommend your products out there. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you very much. And good luck, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Uchechi. Thank you very much. That was really amazing. For real, I got to learn like a lot of other new things myself. I really hope that other listeners were also able to learn so much. Although there's a comment here, Uchechi, I think this is for you, but I didn't want to interrupt your speed at all. I was enjoying it, and I'm sure other people were enjoying it too. But there's a comment here that says you were quite fast, but I think it's pretty okay. Yeah, because we're trying to see how you can convey the information. I believe conveying the information you did with the speed you did is exactly how you would be able to do something like that and deliver with such efficiency. So I'm totally fine with it. And so thank you very much once again, Uchechi, for the amazing presentation. Like it's amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You're welcome. Okay, so please hang on because there are lots of questions that will come. And yeah, so guys, this is where you ask questions, right? So if at all there was a particular place where you didn't really get like proper insight in, all right, so you can just like drop questions. I've seen one question here. It says here, what is the difference between customers and stakeholders? So Uchechi, please, can you help us talk about this?
Okay, the customers are the people you are building the products for. That's why you're doing a lot of research work to know the people that will use your product. The stakeholders, it's not every product that involves stakeholders. That's why I mentioned for people that are working, you are not the boss of your business. You have people up there that are paying you, that are paying your salaries. So these are the people that are actually going to bring out the funds. They're going to bring out the finances that you need to carry out every research, everything you need to do about the product. It's not coming from your pockets. So the people at the top, let me just put it that way, the people that you report to, those are called the stakeholders. So they are the ones at the top. They are the ones in charge of the company that you work for. Product, there are two types of product. It might be a product that you are coming up with independently, freelance, as a freelancer. Then other type of product are products that you're coming up with based on the company that you work with. For example, a fintech. So imagine coming up with a savings app, but you work with a fintech company. So the bosses or the CEO, the manager, all of them, they are all the stakeholders. While you are building a product, you have people you report to. So I hope I've answered your question, please.
Yeah, I think that answer works. Yes, it does. It works. Okay, so we have other questions here. I think that the second question is how exactly is agile methodology used?
Okay,
Teach.
agile methodology is just a name. It's actually just a big name. Agile is a mindset. It's not like it's a thing per se. Agile is a mindset. It's a way of thinking. So there are different ways, mindset, but we always recommend using agile because that's the most recent, and that's the most should I say, it's the most flexible. So when I say always use agile methodology, it means you should always be open-minded. That's what agile is all about. Being open-minded, being open to corrections, being open to improvements, being open to upgrading and making your app better. That's just what I mean by agile methodology. It's not like it's actually a thing, it's a mindset that you need to actually like inculcate. I hope I answered that question.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Yes, I think I prefer your response to any other thing that I've actually read online. Yeah. So the whole idea of agile being a mindset, I think it does answer the question properly. Yes. Okay. So being a mindset, being flexibility, and all of that. Yeah. So let's check out the next thing. Is this a question? Okay. So I think this is just a comment. So a satisfied customer, a client is a better advertiser. One of the key point to land here. Okay, so this is just a comment. Yes. So okay, and then I think this particular question from Kemjika, I think it's for me. Yes, so I will answer this question. So there's steps that she provided. We to provide each of these documents. So first of all, we're building these different projects, not like our individual projects, right? So the idea is for you to be able to use your new skill to build something tangible, and not just building something tangible like a freelancer, someone who is just on the roadside or something, right? So we want you to build it uh, using the best practices possible, right? So yes, you can actually go ahead and then work on this document. It's not a must, but I want to advise you that every single thing that will make your product, right, because you're currently building this thing to sell. That's like the idea of the project. We're building to sell. There are two things that can happen. If after you've built the product and you have fallen in love with it, because right now you didn't come up with the individual ideas, it wasn't your idea. I just put together projects, and then from there you guys started working on it, right? So but I know that in the process of trying to work on each of these projects, you might fall in love with it. You might say, okay, this is something I would really like to do in a long time. So that's okay, right? So you can go ahead and then start the next stage, which is possibly working on your maybe maybe a sales strategy, right? I think that's like the next thing you can think about, sales strategy for it as a business, right? So yeah, you can do that. It's okay. But what I have in mind, what we have, all right, let me use the word we. What we have in mind for everyone here working on the project is for you to be able to sell the product after you're done. So you're basically building a product of of a possible startup, right? So the idea here is when your product is ready, you will put it up on no code first and then put a price tag on it, right? You put a price tag on it. It could be any amount of money. We will advise you on the pricing when it's time. You put it any amount of money, and then with that, you will now go ahead and be able to sell the product in parts, not in parts, like I mean, well, in parts somehow, right? So you'll be reselling it. By reselling it, I mean you're cloning the application, the FlutterFlow application. Of course, that's what it is, and then reselling it to as many people that want to use the products you've created to build the business behind the product, right? So that's like the idea. So if at all providing each of these documents will make will be more like an added value to your product when you're putting it on no code forest, right? Then fine, yeah, because of your extra value, you might be able to raise the price of your product, because for real, it's not supposed to be excessively expensive. I mean, the unit of it. So it's supposed to be within the range of a 50 to $100, like for each sale, right? Because we want a lot of people to buy these teams, this, because the product will be more like templates, right? That others can, like other small and mid-sized business owners can purchase, and then have you customize it to fit their business. It's part of the services that you will be offering on No Code Forest. All right, because we want to be able to make money immediately after learning this thing, because of what use is knowledge if you can't apply it to make the world a better place. And by making the world a better place, you have to start with making your own world, that's your own environment, a better place. And to achieve that, you need money, right? So that's like the idea. So yes, you can provide all of this for your project. It's not compulsory, but I believe that it will increase the value of your product when we are putting it up on no code, when you are putting it on no code forest, right? And selling it. Okay, so that's like the idea. I hope it answers your question, Kemjika. All right, so yes, Bolus, right now for one of the projects, like just one out of all your projects, right? The project that I am a stakeholder in is the No Code Forest, right? Every other project, you guys are like, you guys are like the stakeholders. You own the project, right? So you're the ones that own the project, right? So when it's time for you, like when you're done with your project, you will just upload it on No Code Forest. It's your project. You guys are basically co-founders, like the three people in each of the team. You guys are like co-founders. So this is already helping you start learning how to co-found a startup with someone else, right? So yes, you are the stakeholder of your individual project. I am a stakeholder with the team that is building the no code forest, right? I hope this is clear as well. Okay, so okay, yeah, Chika is asking if you can get a copy of those slides. Okay, Uchechi, I think this is for you. Would you be fine to give them your slides?
Yeah, sure. I'll send you a copy of the slides.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So the copy of the slides will be made available, so you guys can like go through it again. Can we ask questions around FlutterFlow? Yes, Peter, you can ask questions around FlutterFlow. We are here for every form of question, please. So Peter, go ahead, shoot. Okay, Kemjika. There's a question here, quite long. Is it a good practice for your app to serve customers and service providers at the same time? That is making room for customers to purchase product and service providers to advertise on it. Ah, okay. So this question goes to Uchechi. Then after that, I'll add my own comment.
Yes, it's possible, and it's good practice. It happens already. So for apps like let me say apps that you actually log stream on to buy things, probably apps like Jumia. I'm sure we all know Jumia here. Or let me use another app, Amazon. So there are actually places where you or the customer, you can buy something, and then service provider can also log in. They'll have their own dashboard where they can showcase their products. So yes, it's very possible. It depends. It's a lot of work for a product, because I mean you have to build a lot of screens and input a lot of dashboards. That means there'll be a dashboard for the customers and there'll be a dashboard for the service providers. But it's very possible. It happens all the time.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that. So my contribution basically is this, right? So if you're building a product and you want to advertise, you want let's say service providers to advertise on your product. First of all, make sure that the service provider is not a competition. Yeah, just make sure that the service provider that you want to advertise their product on your application is not a competition, because of course, if at all their product is better than yours, they will take all your customers and you won't have anyone to advertise to anymore. That's one. And secondly, right, make sure that you don't inconvenience your users with so much of ads, like adverts everywhere, click this, touch this, and all of that, right? So because it won't contribute to, okay, it will greatly affect your user experience in a negative way, right? So I think that's like my 2 cents on that. I believe that the suggestion, the response from Uchichi covers all of it. Yeah. So we also have other questions. Okay, so Joy, okay, so Joy is asking a question about gradients, right? I think this is purely FlutterFlow. So first of all, right, if at all you observed, right, now when you look at your a particular widget in FlutterFlow, you see that there's a place to change colors, right? You can't really like let me just quickly make present my screen quickly, just to talk about that, and then we will be back to uh okay, so this is it. This is FlutterFlow. All right, really, really fast. This is going to be in 2 minutes. I just want to show you something, then advice on what you could do to help yourself out in situations like that. Okay, so let's say you're working on a project and then you have need for gradients. Like each of these widgets, like the button here, you see you only have a few color here. Like you just have few color. If you tap on it, right, you don't really see any other mix. Like it doesn't allow you to mix colors. There's no start and end kind of thing. So from my experience so far, you can't really add use gradients directly inside FlutterFlow. So the best thing I would say is do your gradient mix inside Figma, like finish everything there and import it inside here. Use images, like, right? So for instance, this is an image, right? But we see gradients, we see stuffs around here, maybe not really gradient, but we see like varieties of colors here. So you can do your gradient in Figma and then bring it inside here as an image, even if it means to put an entire container inside in the column, like this black space that you see here. Yeah, you know, of course, with your containers, let's say where's the container here? I can't really see a container. So assuming this container, you know definitely that your containers have background image. So yes, you can go ahead and come to your background image and add your image. Like you can do assets and then add the image here for yourself, right? I hope you understand. So with that, it will give you the gradient feel that you want. But to put it directly inside FlutterFlow, I haven't been able to experiment to that extent yet. Okay. All right. I hope that I have been able to answer your question, Joy. And let's move on to the next question. So I think this question. Okay. Good afternoon. Okay, Uchechi. I think he made a mistake here. Thank you. Actually, I decided to use waterfall approach because of the limited time. It's just this. Okay. All right. Uchechi, do you have anything to say to him with regards to this?
Okay, like you mentioned before, all these things I listed are not, if they feel like it's not required, then they shouldn't go ahead with documents. But then in the long run, this might be needed if you know that you actually want to put up this product for sale. The person that is buying, the investor will want to know about the research work that you did before coming up with the products. They won't just buy the finished work. They are buying everything along with the product. The whole process, everything should be properly documented. It saves them a lot of work on their end, because if you just give them the product, it's like giving them a finished work without letting them know how you got there. So they will have to do the work again to validate the market, the audience, and I'm not sure any investor will pay money to buy a product when they are going to that they will that will make them do some work again. So yes, using the waterfall approach is not a bad one, but there's always more should I say more advantages using agile, because it will make you like your mind, you'll be open, and even you that is building the product, you actually see it's give you a lot of positivity, because you have a lot of insight on what you are building. That's one. You are building a product doesn't mean you're going to build it and just drop it out there. You should actually, it's going to build you, because you're doing some research work. You doing conducting interviews, surveys. You are learning while building the product. It's not just about the product. I mentioned before that it's about the product, but it's also about you building the product, because this is something you're doing. It's your work. You're pouring yourself to that product. So it should build you too. So waterfall is not bad, but agile is preferable. And that's what I'll say. It's a 2 week project. So you don't have to do everything step by step like that. But at least let it be out of 100%, give it a 70. So if it's product vision, if it's the product strategy, just have something. If it's just a 2 sentence document, have it down so that when the investor wants to get the product, they will see everything there. It makes your product more marketable, and it actually attracts more investors and buyers than a product that was built based on the waterfall approach. You can do some research on what I just said.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Igwe, I hope you got some value from the response there. Okay. And okay, now this is a very sensitive question, right? Okay, so Peter is saying, how can we work on responsiveness when working on FlutterFlow? Our landing page is not fitting on other devices. Okay, so this is something that I have some challenge with, right? And I had to start reaching out to FlutterFlow team, like their support, to see if they can give me some form of information that I can use for this. But I saw an article. I am still experimenting on it. I saw an article that tried explaining that, because they have a blog, right? Yeah, FlutterFlow has a blog, so you can read up some content from there. And the article said that if you want to make your application mobile responsive, right, go ahead and then start building it from rows, right? Of course, rows can be stringed. Instead of starting to build it from columns, start to build it from rows, right? So I have been trying to experiment on it. It doesn't fit very well. It doesn't work in all cases. So um what I would advise guys is this: go ahead and build your how do I put it? Go ahead and build a mobile application first separately, right? And this is not best practice for FlutterFlow scenario, right? But just go ahead and build your mobile application separately, and then I think when it comes to database, at some point you might have to like switch. And of course, don't forget your database. You just need to make the structure, like you have to create a structure for the database as a document. I mean, of course, when you're selling the product, you're not selling the database too. They have to go ahead and set it up from their end. In fact, not even set up. Part of your services on no code for us when you're selling your application is that you will help the client set up the application, especially the database. You help them set it up and the thing functions properly, connect the domain, do everything necessary. So just go ahead and build these stuff separately, right? Build the mobile app. I think if you go ahead and build the mobile app first, right, there's a huge possibility of having it like maybe adjust when you try to scale the different screens. But if at all it's the web version first that you're starting with, scaling it will not make sense. When you reduce it, it doesn't really look like it, except you start with rows. I will have to give you guys a class, like maybe show you what I have learned so far, but it's not going to be today, it's not going to be tomorrow, that's going to be on Friday. Because by Friday, I think I should have been able to get my hands a little bit good with regards to the mobile responsiveness. This is me just telling you how it is. Okay, so for now, build it as a mobile application, right? Just build it as a mobile application. And then of course, if at all you already have a desktop view, that's a web view of your stuff, you can still build it separately. Okay, that means since you have like two people in your, like we have three people in all, one person can be working on the desktop version, and then another person can be working on the mobile version. There is this thing that I see. I don't know if I told you've observed it, and I think a lot of businesses do that a lot. Instead of trying to make their application mobile responsive, they build it such that it can detect the device that you are using. All right, and it will give you the URL, the URL depending on the device you're using. So if at all you're using a website, like a laptop, it will give you the web version of that platform. And if at all you're using a mobile device, it will give you the mobile version of that stuff, instead of trying to make the site responsive. I've seen a lot of projects like that, and it works well. Like if you've been seeing something like m.facebook.com, that's the mobile version of Facebook, right? Yeah, so something like that. So I think you just build it separately. All right, so web separate projects, mobile separate project until Friday. So I think by Friday I will have some better response to give you with regards to making your application responsive. Peter, I that's really all I can say for now. I hope that helps you at somehow, and everyone else that might have been curious about the same question. Okay, so Igwe is saying okay. Or share the okay, this question has been attended to. So how can we work to? Where is the question? Okay, so there's a question here. I think this should be from, is there a way we can hold payments on our app so as to ensure security for both customers and the people? So technically, I think payment is going to definitely be, oh, okay, not technically. So I think this is a question about escrow, right? Yeah. So if your platform has vendors and has users separately, you can build, it depends on the logic for your stuff. You can build it such that when the users come to buy whatever service on the platform, when they are making payment, it doesn't go straight to the account of the vendors. It comes to your account, but the vendors will see in their wallets that they have been credited. But that's the wallet in the application, for instance, like that they have been credited. And of course, they have to withdraw it when it's time. So they have to click a button to withdraw, put their bank details and all of that to withdraw. And then you can go ahead and build it such that it can be manually done, or you can still do it such that it's done automatically. Because if you create an account on FlutterFlow, that's to receive payment, but I think you will have to register the business. So I don't think you should go that far, right? Because this is not your business per se, except you want to later on take it up as your business, right? So what I would assume is make it such that they can, when the customers pay for the product, it's not going directly to the account, or it's not even showing the URL from the what is it called, from the vendors. It is showing the URL from your organization, from the company that made the application. And then, but now when payment is being done, the vendors should see in the application that they have been credited. So it's more like e-money, right? So yeah, so then from there, when they request for money, you can go ahead and then implement any other check that you want to check. Is the customer satisfied? Is the product good and all of that? Okay, if at all is an e-commerce, for instance, has the product been delivered? Is the customer okay with it? And then from there, you can now go ahead and remit the cash. So you can let the vendors know that we will only remit the cash to you maybe 24 hours after payment has been done, or after product has been delivered, or after service has been rendered. Any of that works. So it all depends on the bureaucracy for your project. Okay. Okay, so there's a suggestion here from Delphin. There's a template with gradients. You can save as template and use it where necessary. All right. So Joy, please try to connect with Delphin and see how you can understand what she just said there. Okay, so for this question, Tunde, you said you have not been added to. I don't know if at all you're a new no coder, right? So because the new no coders are not really required to do projects because they don't really have their skills yet. But if at all you have the skills and you've been with us for a while, then you can. I am going to drop the final projects document. I'm gonna drop the link like right now, so you can find the project that you like, and then add your name. A lot of projects have already been filled, so just hold on. Let me get the link, and then I will drop it here. Then you can check it out. It's taking some time for me to get it. Okay, so the idea is you just you'll see the link, then you can go ahead and then find a particular group that you would like to join, like let's say the project, but it's 3% per group. All right, so I've dropped the link there, and I hope it helps you. Okay. Okay, so Igwe said he has tried gradients on FlutterFlow. I would like to see you try it. So, Igwe, personally, I will reach out to you on WhatsApp, and I think maybe tomorrow when we are having a crash course, we could try it, because I think tomorrow will be a course on form validation, and then we can talk about FlutterFlow. So, Igwe, if at all you use this very well, I would like you to be available to make a presentation. Is that okay? If it's okay, please just let me know so I can book you for tomorrow, so you can just talk briefly about how to implement the gradient. Okay, thank you very much. We've gone far with Webo. Okay, so Peter said we've gone far with web. No problem. Just build it separately. Then after that, work on the mobile separately. Great, great work. Um, okay, Igwe, well done for this. Wow, something good just happened. FlutterFlow just responded. Oh, we heard David was dropping some FF knowledge. Yes, FlutterFlow knowledge. Yes, yes, yes. This is good. All right, guys. So FlutterFlow is here with us today. Really good. I'm really excited about this. Okay, really nice, nice. Yeah, FlutterFlow, thank you very much for your beautiful technology, and we appreciate you. Great, thank you very much. All right, so let's see how we can do other things. Um, is this FlutterFlow for real or is it kidding? Bulus, it's actually FlutterFlow for real. It's not kidding. It's very real. This is it. It's very real. This is FlutterFlow's YouTube channel commenting on our live YouTube video. It makes a whole lot of sense. Yes, yes, yes. Our official sponsor. Yes, great stuff. Thank you very much, FlutterFlow. Yes, I also appreciate your technology so much. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, guys. So it's quite exciting to have had you guys here. Do we have other questions we can talk about before we close? Like either questions concerning the product management or questions about the maybe FlutterFlow itself and other things. So if there are no questions, we've done 1 hour already, and it would be great to end the class. We'll just give 1 minute. If there's another question, then we will answer. If there's no other question, then we will close the class. Meanwhile, my great appreciation goes to Uchechi for facilitating the session. That was amazing. Thank you very much. And another appreciation goes to everyone here for always showing up, because for me that's like the best thing. Like you have to keep showing up, whether you're in the mood or you're not in the mood, you're sick, just try to show up, right? Because there's something I learned recently in the John Wick's movie. I don't know whether it's correct in all cases, but to me it makes a whole lot of sense. How you do anything is how you do everything. I think it does make sense, but why I'm saying that is because if you're very proactive with just what we're doing here, there's a huge possibility that you're also proactive doing every other thing in your life. So that's it. So how you do one thing or how you do anything is how you do everything. I think I'm quite excited about that. So Peter is asking, can we have meeting with you for our project? Yes, yes, Peter, definitely. We can always have meetings. I'm already in the group, so yes, we can have meetings. I will definitely be free this evening for a meeting. So help us with our product designer for auction team. Auction team. Okay, so let me quickly check out auction team. Um, auction team. Okay, so all right, so Ayodeji. Okay, so all right, I'm going to try to reach out to Ayodeji and see if he can really be available. If he's not available, then we will have to find another product designer. Sorry about that, guys. Chika, I hope that response helped. Can we add an extra to what you already gave us on the project? Yes, yes, Kalechi. What I gave you was just more like a basic structure, all right, like a title of a project. So it is now for you to go ahead and then use the things that you've learned from the product manager, like the presentation, and use it to effect a lot of things on your project, right? Go ahead and then iterate the project to make sense to you, because you have to connect with the project. You have to love what you're building, and of course, so go ahead and pour your creativity on it, and however you want to mix it, but let the original idea of the stuff still be in it. Let it be like the heart of your project. Let it still be there, right? But you can make it look like a female. You can make it look like a male, all right? So that means, but let it have a heart. and the heart is basically like the main idea that I had shared. Okay, so yes, please. City woman. I had challenges with creating a payment gateway on Paystack because it required for me to register my business. Okay, yeah. This is a problem you will face. So for these, I would just say, since it's a demo project, go ahead and just use any payment gateway, just their URL, maybe paystack.com, flutterwave.com. The clients that you will be selling the products to will have to sign up on FlutterFlow and do the verification process and give you access to help do the whole onboarding and setting up, right? So that's it. So for you creating the project, let it just be that when the users click on payment or anything, that it take them out to paystack.com. For that, that's accomplished, right? And of course, when it takes them out there, it should also create a record in the database that there has been something like that. Like, you should just make sure that there's a database record of that particular action. Okay, so that's it. And but for if at all you want to like do it as a business, right? So you have to if at all you're in Nigeria, you have to try to register your business in CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. And if at all you are in any other African country, you can try to see the official process of registering your business in the under the governing policy of your country. I think that's like something that can help you. And all right, Kalechi, thank you very much. We're having issues with collaboration stuff. So yeah, the collaboration thing, we talked about it. Okay, so now that I have mentioned that, okay, one person should work on, like, not like one person. Let's work on the mobile separately and work on the web version separately, right? So like that, I think everybody will be able to work on different things. So let one person work on, creates two projects, right? Creates two FlutterFlow projects. And I don't think two FlutterFlow projects can share one Firebase database. I haven't tried it, but if you try it and it works, good. But if it doesn't work, go ahead and create another Firebase project, like connect the two of them, something like that. We will talk about this more extensively on Friday. Yes, I will try to really prepare. I have some time now. I'm done with one of my major exams, right? So yeah, so that's like it. So let it be that one person, since we have three people in the team, one person works on the mobile application, right? Then one person works on the web application, right? Even if it's not responsive yet, we will talk about how to make it responsive. Time frame is short for both. Yeah, I get it. The time frame is short for both, and the idea is this: don't, just like the product manager talked about, don't try to implement all your features at once. Let it just have the basic structure, right? And of course, in your when you're finally putting it on Nocode Forest, you will put the version, like you say, okay, this is version 1. Then later on, you guys can still work together and create another version 2, and then like that, because a UI designer have to create the. Yeah, I understand. So when the just focus on one first. Start with let's say UI UX design for mobile, and then build that first. When the designer is done with building that, don't forget, I told you, don't make your screens too many. So we're looking at between 15 to 20. That should be enough for the number of screens. So don't make it too many. Make it like very small number of screens. Try to see how you can like not make your project so heavy. Okay. All right. So I hope that oh, Joy is asking about the competition. Yes, Joy, I did promise that I will give the results today. Yes, I am going to give the results today. That question has come for a very long time. Yes, I'm going to give the result for the competition today, and we will release the prizes. I think what we will just do is that almost everybody that participated did a good job. So what we will just do is, instead of we will just shortlist the people that participated and give prizes across to everyone, right? That's just like the idea. Yeah, we won't really do the first, second, third thing. We'll just give everyone that participated. We've checked the work, and we will just give the prizes to everyone, right? So that's like the idea. We'll just send data to you. So the program manager will contact. I will drop the list, and then that's it. So the program manager will take care of that, and you guys will receive your list, your prizes, data. Okay. All right. thank you very much for that. And I feel we should just focus on one because of time flow. Okay, so this works. All right. So this suggestion to me, I think it works. You guys can focus on just one. The thing is this: you have the rights to focus on any of the I think platforms you want to build for, right? Either mobile or Android. So if you have the time and you can work really fast to do mobile and web, right? So go ahead. But if you don't, no problem. Just build mobile application. That's okay, really. Yeah. So that's like the idea. Just you can just build for mobile application. Yeah. But if you have the time, build for mobile and web. It works because some of your customers, the people that will buy the product might just need it as a as a web application, not necessarily as a mobile. And another thing that I will say is this: if at all you're building a mobile application alone, please build a landing page. That's one page landing page for your mobile application, because um, of course there has to be a landing page for a mobile application so that users can know there are why they should download the application or even use the application in the first place. So if you're building just mobile application, please build it with just at least one landing page, just a single landing page. It doesn't have to be so complex, but just nice and good. Okay. Yes, it will come with oh, Kalichi, thank you very much. Is there any other word greater than best? Okay, you guys are hyping me. Hyping is a slang in Nigeria. Okay, most people here are Nigerian, so you guys know that already. So yeah, Lintochi to come with certificates. Okay, so let's end the session. Yeah, the prizes will come with the certificates too, so you can put it on LinkedIn. And sincerely, this is just to wrap it all up, right? Every single thing that you're doing here to build your social capital and uh, your professional capital as well, please put everything on LinkedIn. Like screenshots, you make a widget, put it up there. Like talk about it, right? If you don't tell people that you are doing what you're doing, they won't know, right? So yeah. And so try to provide visibility for yourself, talk about it. And then since LinkedIn is an amazing platform that can provide like massive visibility to talents, go ahead and talk about it there. Like post a lot of things there. Don't post too much, of course. You can refer to the post that I made about how to grow your visibility on LinkedIn and possibly get clients, right? So you can check it out and pay attention to the contributions, the things that I said there, right? So for me, I basically post twice a week, I think, right? Or I just wait until a particular post that I made has started it is no longer producing the reach that I want, then I have to post another. Right? That's just what I do. Okay, so thank you very much for being here and for showing up. And of course, remember that the way you do anything is the way you do everything, and always be a hard worker. All right, guys. Thank you very much, Uchechi. I really appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone else here who showed up. Have a lovely afternoon. Yes. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, David. Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you.